rasa yang pernah kita bagi. Pilih baju yang terbaik, mengantar matahari yang cantik. Bermimpi bersama di kota yang banyak tawarnya. Kita buat jadi jadi sedih. Biarkan bersedih. Yang kan datang nanti. Biar harap yang membawa pesan agar lebih berkesan. Jika tak bersamaku lagi, ingat warna langit favoritku. Jika memang sudah tak berjalan,
I'm looking forward to getting a workout this weekend. Gotta stay in shape to look good. Wow.
Jika tiba waktunya nanti, yang tak dipaksa yang kan terjadi.
I like to wash breakfast down with jam.
You know it.
Memang sudah tak berjalan seiring, jaga diri masing-masing. Sampai bertemu di lain bumi. Sampai bertemu di lain hari.
Life is good, you know. I'm trying to help people, help the community. Just doing the right thing, you know.
Really?
still feel the jealousy when I hear another name inside your brain. Why would I be dreaming of those memories of you? Why would I trapped in the place?
You have reached the voicemail box of
Calling you late at night, talking about nothing, but we're always laughing. This time conversation, they raise my affections. Those were the good times, and now miss the old times. Have I told you lately that I miss you greatly? Sometimes I wish that I could still call you mine. Still call you mine. Now all I've got is the stain on my blue jeans. The only way I could remember if you were your voice were lullabies. I would be listening till I was sleeping. But our situations, it stopped our relations. Why did we end it? Don't want to believe it. 'Cause I'm feeling lately that I miss you greatly. Sometimes I wish that I could still call you mine. Still call you mine. Now all I've got is the stain on my blue jeans.
A lot of people want to get that number.
I mean, that number's reserved. VIPs only, you know what I'm saying?
Ball goes out. DB dead again. Level 4 axe does get his Vanguard, but far too late to survive.
This is the Dazzle Axe matchup. Yeah, you can ult him through his grave, but the lane is very one-sided. It's been like this for a long time. Those early trades not paying out. I mean, guy has second net worth on his team. This Dazzle.
Is he actually?
He's contesting the Void Spirit, and I think that says a decent amount about how Void Spirit's doing, but more about how he's doing right now. He's got level 3 poison touch up.
JG is going to try and go for a kill. Frostbite stalls it. He may have to go into the tier 2 for it, but he will commit and picks it up. So that'll help his net worth a little bit more. And might be able to put some pressure on the Terrorblade too. In Your Dreams kind of hanging out here in the trees.
Yeah, he's lucky he did not find the Dazzle Chad. That would have been a fight he did not like, but instead, he'll go back top and try and kill Axe for this 5th time here.
They're going to kill Grimstroke in the bottom lane at the same time. They push a little bit too far forward. DB is going to get run down. Chemical Rage, Alchemist. He could brave the tower pretty easily.
My God, 1 in 5 for BB in this game. This is a very rough start for the Vanguard Axe. Again, a hero we are having concerns about his mid-game impact in terms of damage. And he's like the only real stun, so he kind of needs a fast blink as well. He can't go some greedy build. He doesn't have too many ancient stacks. A couple doubles, but that's it.
I feel like, correct me if I'm not wrong, but I recall from watching Army Geniuses in the previous seasons that I felt like DB was a pretty strong performer for them a lot of times in the off lane. And
Destroyed.
this is rough. I mean, I feel like he was a lot of times leading AG into victory, but you know, hey, the rest of their lanes are going perfectly fine, so maybe this is a game where he could take a step back and doesn't have to be as high impact as we're gonna watch Dazzle. Bobbus protects him a little bit here, but another round slight and a chains will connect just enough.
It's a fast Pavis. Benefit of the early laning phase, but it will not save him. Now you get some stacks stolen. And Yahweh is just cruising in this game. He's about to take it over. You have limited lockdown for Ember here. I mean, what's your lockdown? Grimult? That's pretty unreliable versus Hero because he can just go in solo very deep and play around with the Slights and Remnant. This is going to be a force to be reckoned with. On top of all the power runes he's getting, that solo killing lane adding up a lot here. And that's going to make space for his other two cores to accelerate in the jungle. I mean, Terrorblade Axe are pretty fast junglers. Can't really ask for anything better. So if Yahweh can just run around, AG play through him, his other two cores are going to be happy. I mean, look at this ancient stack right now. Lane was rough, but these creeps can't poison touch you.
That is true. He doesn't have to worry about that here. He's still going to go for the Blade Mail build, which I'm a little bit surprised when you're this far behind, you still go for the Blade Mail. I would have thought.
Casual chainmail in the blink and to finish the Blade Mail. That wouldn't surprise me. He just wants the extra armor in this game.
That could be a good idea, yeah.
Also, what is this cosmetic, man? This isn't even an axe. It's just a club.
Oh, the mask he's got? Oh.
No, it's just a club. Since when are we giving axe, not an axe?
Well, I mean, probably since they gave him the, you know, is it the Arcana or whatever, where he just uses his fists.
I mean, that one I kind of understand. Like, maybe he lost the axe, but this is just a different weapon.
I mean, the thing is, anything is an axe in Axe's hand.
How is this acceptable?
No, it's kind of like the opposite of the item ogre axe. Wait, it's called ogre axe now? Didn't it used to be ogre club?
No.
Yes, because it was something like that, but right? Because the whole joke is that to the ogre everything was a club.
I'm not familiar with that lore. Pull in mid. Yahweh gets silenced. Can they chain it?
Oh, they got him! Oh, before he could jump away to the remnant, the explosion goes off, and finally the Grimstroke brings some worth to this game. I feel like he was struggling to be able to have an impact, but that was massive.
He should not have died there. He had shield rune too. That's just a misplay, straight up, and a big kill to give away. A decent chunk of gold already. A lot of levels. And Bombi starting to catch up on the level department. This is a hero that's very level intensive, so you start giving him kills, suddenly those spells become a lot better. Still a game Xerxes is going to have to catch up a bit, but Radiance done for Young God at 11-11 on the dot. And he's got a big old stack waiting for him. Oh, he's got two big old stacks. Can he even do this? This is a lot of damage.
Might need a little help from the Dazzle.
Gonna need a grave in it.
Grave Radiance. Best way to farm the Ancients.
That's pretty efficient. Oh man,
All right,
he's having a hell
without
of a
looking,
game.
Avery, can you tell me what Aghanim Scepter does on Dazzle?
It creates inverse wave.
Okay.
You think I don't know that? I'm a Dazzle main, brother. I read this man's patch notes 8 times on the reveal.
Okay, what does it do?
It creates an inverse wave on enemies that deals damage to them and heals your allies for 150% of the normal wave.
Okay. Does it do anything
Yeah.
else?
Does it do anything?
It also
else?
does an attack to everybody who gets hit by
Oh
this
yeah, I
inverse
forgot
wave.
about that part. I mean, that's like some core Dazzle thing. You know, what are you gonna do with that on some Horde Dazzle?
I remember reading this one and being like, who the hell is building this in first Shadow Wave? I mean, like, there's those rare circumstances where it's like one hero surrounded by like 4 and you get a massive inverse wave. That sounds sick, but I just cannot imagine that this is an item that support Dazzle, who is typically what most Dazzles are playing, is support, is going to build. But
I mean, it's like for like 3 Dazzle. I don't know. Valve keeps trying to make this hero a right clicker, but
Yeah.
when they gave it the right click axe, they got rid of the damage talent at 10. Well, I don't understand.
yeah, now he's got attack speed. Who needs attack speed on this
so
hero?
useless. This is the last hero that needs attack speed. What the hell is his talent? It's not even good. 35 is not even that good. That's like a
Yeah.
slightly better glove. I don't know. This hero is so confusing. I don't know what Valve wants out of this hero. They want him to be like Terrorblade or something. I don't know. It's really weird.
It is really
Maybe
weird that
one
they
day.
give him an instant attack off of an ability, but don't give him any damage to back it up.
Yeah. I mean, they made him universal. So I guess in that sense, his damage is way higher. I guess if you get the Ags and you're universal, the Ags gives you a lot more right click too. Maybe it's broken actually. That's pretty interesting. New technology being developed as DB is going to try and use his newly found Blink Dagger to start this 14-minute rune fight. DD's still up for JG though. That's
Flight's going to be able
burst.
to find the supports. He's going to go for it. Not going to be able to burst him alone here, especially with the silence on him. In fact, he's surrounded by too many heroes. They dove in a bit too deep for that one. And Rapido did do a good job of kind of intercepting the rest of AG. Couldn't really follow that axe in.
It's just too deep. I mean, that's just a classic axe jump. Like, what's the follow-up, right?
Yeah.
And that's one of the issues with this lineup this game. Is there isn't that much instant follow-up. JG in the back off an invis gets the jump. Gotta
Okay,
be careful with
Terrorblades.
Sunder.
Yeah, they're diving in pretty deep, but not really doing enough damage. A pretty easy pickup on 1, 2, and maybe a 3. Yeah, our Dazzle's going to be slowed down. I put into the Lance of Pursuit to use here.
God damn, that reflection into Slight did so much work on the clump. 2,800 damage for Yahweh here. Easy cleans up a tower on the back end. Just an overextension. I don't think you have the damage to burst Terrorblade like that. But he's Glimmer behind him. That's just not happening. He's got Raindrop Stick too. I mean, you have decent burst between the Void Spirit and the Grim. Like, this is a strong combo, but not in a situation like that.
Yeah, somebody needs to remind Xerxia where their advantage is in lane and where it's not. Killing the axe is not that big of an advantage. That 4 versus 5 doesn't matter. If you kill the Ember, now that guy's making up like 70% of Army Genius's team fight right there.
Yeah, the axe is goddamn useless. It's the Ember and even the supports you want to take out first.
Yeah.
Diffusal up for Rapido as well. So this is kind of their time to fight and get the Void Spirit and the Pango to scale off the Alchemist network, which is still such a huge proportion of theirs. Early BKB for Young God.
What do you think about him not leveling up Soulbind yet? So we're going to see a non-Soulbind Grimstroke put to use in this fight. Once again, they start off killing the axe. And this time, they'll get an extra hero in the Crystal Maiden, so now they have a significant advantage. 3 versus 5.
They'll take them kills and walk. Illusion Rune of the River. Young God probably wishes he could claim it, but didn't even have to use BKB for that fight and you defend your tower. Not the worst case scenario.
They're actually going to go on Young God as his Chemical Rage is going to go down. Might force him to use the BKB. As, yeah, it's really looking like he's going to have to use it. So, good little bit of pressure there to put on to the enemy carry.
Oh, in your dream. This is aggressive. He's just going to chase
With
him.
the help of the
I guess he has backup.
Ember, the Slight lands, and it gets a Maelstrom proc too to kill him. No problem.
Did not think they had the range for that, but nice call. Terrorblade continuing to power up here. This is a pretty good Terrorblade game. He gets the farm. There's not a lot of just mana damage to deal with him. Outside of the Void Spirit jump, which you already have Glimmer for. I guess that's Grimstroke Axe, right? That's your answer.
Yeah.
Get a Terrorblade illusion and kill everybody else with it?
Our lineup does have like a fair amount of magic damage between Pango, Grimstroke, and Void Spirit, but they're really not actually connecting on Terrorblade.
My issue, it's all burst. It's like a one jump burst, and I don't think it's enough burst to ever kill him outright. Maybe I'm wrong on that, but it doesn't feel like it is, so...
I mean, especially if he's getting like Avist and Glimmer Caped,
Yeah,
which are
that's
the
what I'm
two
thinking.
support items on AG.
If he gets anything cast on him, he lives through it, and then you're just setting up a Sunder. And then it gets weird. You kind of need Alec to jump with you here with a stun, which early Blink for Young Goggle will enable that, and you do have the Dazzle Shard already. So now you have some extra lockdown. Blade Mail for DB will find a support and deal almost no damage to him.
Wow. And they're just going to have to
That's
launch
Axe.
him TP away, so...
That's a classic Axe right there. Pretty farm, jump a hero, deal like 400 damage, and he walks off. Yeah, this hero's so sad sometimes.
Yeah. It really is.
You should be able to like charge up your spins or something. You can like save them and then just unleash like 4 spins on a dude.
I mean, they did at least let you set it up so you can get an instant spin, but that isn't nearly as good as like when Slardar charges it up, you know? Like when he's
I'm
able to
telling you.
blink first hit bash, you know, blink first hit spin is kind of whatever.
Yeah, who cares? Who cares? You need to be, I'm telling you, if you could charge them up, if you could have like 10 spins, just unleash the lawnmower on some dude. This hero would be back for sure.
All right,
Al,
there's
if
your
you're
new, there's your new
Yeah.
shard upgrade right there.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, he's just spinning like Juggernaut.
That's what I'm saying. Bring back the old jug spin on a new hero. Give him a sword while we're at it, because apparently you can just use any item now too. Any weapon. It doesn't have to be an axe. Oh, Young God looking.
Looking and finding. They get a support pickoff, but it does require them to be pretty heavily grouped up, so you're always gonna push in mid, and your Dream's gonna aggressively push in top. Get a max.
This game feels like it's just going to come down to Terrorblade versus Alec, honestly. And I guess
Which-
Yahweh is a menace.
You probably favor Terrorblade, right? Terrorblade is the
Yeah.
pretty good counter to Alec.
I mean, I favor that until ultra late when things get clowny, but even then, I think you'd rather have the Terrorblade.
Nice blink. Young God almost getting caught. He's good.
I think you got Roshan perhaps to get a good fight in the area.
JG is going to go back for BKB second item on Void Spirit. I mean, this hero is all about bursting somebody down. I cannot imagine that BKB is the answer.
Maybe you just feel like there's too many roots. Like he goes in, he gets frostbitten or change, he's just dead. He's gonna disassemble Echo for it too. This is gonna cost him a lot of damage.
Yeah.
I don't think you have the damage to deal with in your Dream right now. You kind of need
so
to kill
either.
everybody else.
Jumping in,
On the
Chemical
support.
Rage and going
Go
for the
to
support, but the Glimmer Cape has already been used, so he's going to be fine. They do have the roll-in that's happening. Rapido hitting a couple of heroes, bouncing on through and almost finishing off DB here with the Swashbuckle, and that's going to be just enough. But they are on the run, trying around, throw out the Unstable Concoction. Yowei managed to dodge through it. The Inkswell does manage to hit him, though, and, oh, he actually gets a little bit low, but no, he's actually just perfectly fine, apparently.
He's just
Yowei
toying
comfortable
with
on the knife's edge, sits there very pretty, and looks good for it too, until Rapido does manage to pick up the kill off the Swashbuckle. Okay, maybe Yowei did slip when he was sitting on that knife's edge and cut himself a little bit.
That was a sharp knife. I respect going in against that Alex stun though. That was a pretty ballsy play. Just looking out, kind of. I guess that's kind of an okay fight here. I mean, you get 2 cores for 1. You lose your Al. It's pretty sad, but again, this is kind of where you can't deal with the Terrorblade at all anyway. The
And
worst
can you
outcome
deal with the Terrorblade?
when the Grim Stroke knocks on your door. Says, hello, Mr. Terrorblade. It's you.
I mean, he's close. He's actually super close.
Yeah,
he only
he
needs
gets the
250 gold.
He's going to start smacking himself here.
Okay.
I mean, the stronger Terrorblade gets, the stronger Bombi gets in this game.
True, true.
In fact, you might want to give in your Dream some extra kills right now. Power him up.
Guys, we need to feed the Terrorblade. All right, well, they're gonna get a shard. Who wants the shard? Dazzle's already got his. We got the Inkswell stun. That one's actually pretty nice.
Stroke shard it is. This one's still pretty solid. Like extra damage buff, dispel, pretty nice in this game versus the chains, the frostbite, the solar bind, the battle hunger, reflection. There's a decent amount through dispel in this game. And Philosopher's Stone gonna push him over to that axe. So now you can turn that Terrorblade against his own team. Support's pretty strong right now for Xerxia. Can you use it? That's the big question. You're gonna have to kill Terrorblade at some point in this game, I feel. I don't know exactly what it is. It's gonna be a big turning point if you get that team fight win or not. AG trying to continue to build momentum off his item timings. I'll use a quick support here.
I mean, some of their ideas here between the BKB and then the fact they have this, the Dazzle Shard, which is good against the TV illusions, and then also creating your own Terrorblade illusion with the Dark Portrait. I can see some, you know, like I'm beginning to see their idea of team fights being kind of like just drawing it out, right? Like just surviving, limiting the TV's damage, and, you know, the Dark Portrait and Alchemist kill the rest of the team. I mean, that seems fair.
I don't think it's a bad way to play versus Axe either, because Axe kind of has to go in, and then when this hero goes in, he's stuck. Like, you usually just die. So if you bait the jump, kill him, reset a meta, you can go take an objective. Right now, you're just doing Roche. And, I mean, is AG going to contest this? They don't even look close. It's just a free objective. Xerxia getting everything they want right now.
Apparently. And the trade-off is going to be AG getting a lot of farm, apparently. It's you've got every single member of AG farming different parts of the map.
It's pretty nice.
They're going to get a lot of utility items out of this. Like, you've got a full-out pipe already for the Keeper of the Light, and Force Staff is going to be coming in soon for Faris.
These are big items. The magic resist for the team is huge versus what this Void and Grim are trying to output.
Yeah.
So much of their damage is magical. Like, this Alk is not dealing physical. He went hard. This is just I'm gonna run in there and make space Alk. I don't think he's killing anything, to be honest. His spells are probably doing more than his right clicks. So you kind of have to win those long fights. And you have to probably not focus the Terrorblade, get the illusion, and then start killing everybody else with it. If you can get a good Soulbind too, that's gonna be huge. If you can Soulbind the Ember, like lock him in some area with Pango rolling through, even if he's BKB, it might not matter.
Soulbind him and the Terrorblade together, and you might just have the winning formula for this fight.
They're gonna show the TB.
They're showing him he's actually in a potential to get top of the Dark Portrait. They already threw out the Soulbind and the Dark Portrait. Bombi's having some trouble. The roll through is going to be able. They're trying to chase after an axe right now. I mean, they could go for it, but at the same time, Young God does need some help. Bombi stays alive off the Shallow Grave, but eventually wears off. Young God and they're going to chart backing up. They go back into the backline of Rupido and JG, who are going to stop that freezing field, but Rupido's already taken enough damage. JG needs to get out off the Dissimulate, and he will be able to do so with another step. Young God, though, not so lucky. Stunned himself off the Unstable Concoction. He's going to lose his Aegis now. Let's see if he can get the fast blink away. No, he actually threw the Remnant through the respawn. That was pretty smart. They really still have the Grave that helps out quite a bit. Maybe this is an opportunity for JG to get a support kill. No, he has to reset. He backs out. He's still low. And Young God, that's another Chemical Rage. He can keep going again.
Got regen for days.
Now the pullback on Yoe, who is out of remnants. Thankfully, he has chains.
Bombi's here.
Okay, Dark
He's getting
Portraits
full
was.
illusion.
Oh, the Instable Stun. It's going to land. Now the Unstable
play.
Concoction. They have a call. The Axe. He
good.
comes through just in time. The saving grace. They do manage to get a grab onto the two of them together, but Young God, he doesn't have his Unstable Concoction up, and now his Chemical Rage is dead again. So he is in serious trouble. Rapido's going to try and bail him out with a double damage on the Terror Blade. They have to retreat, and fortunately, Rapido will be able to cover Young God's tracks. No chase possible. Still, though, a crazy back and forth fight that AG definitely did win.
Yeah, the call in the back end secures that fight entirely, and you just got so much gold for your Ember Spirit. Like, he is very far ahead of the other cores in this game now. Full Shiva's done off that, level 18. I feel like Yahweh is the real winner there, as In Your Dream does the damage. I just don't think you can heavy commit jump terribly like that. Unless you're willing to do it and then instantly back out and try and bait the axe jump. He's never going to die in that burst. Like, he has Pipe, Glimmer, Blinding Light behind him. It's just not really a play. I think you want to, like, soft jump him, get the Terrible Illusion, and play off that, which kind of happened, but I feel like the committal was pretty heavy.
Yeah, especially when both Rapido and JG, like, ran forward to chase the axe and then tried to go on like the supports afterwards. They were completely split at that point.
Yeah, it creates a very awkward situation. You got a fighter on your Alec front line and use your Grimstroke spells. You need a lot of Grimstroke spells in these fights to win it. So you need to keep him alive. If you sacrifice protection on your back line, that's kind of what costs him that engagement. Like the fact Bombi can't live because Yahweh is just cleaving him through and there's not much to stop it. I mean, maybe there's not much to stop it in general, but you gotta at least try, I think. It's gonna push AG to a pretty decent position here. I mean, the net worth's pretty marginable, but this is an Alchemist lineup, so if you're even or ahead of Alchemist, it usually doesn't bode well for the hero, especially with this hard build that it's just not scaling. Like, where is the scaling damage coming out from this lineup, bro? I don't see it.
Yeah, I'd say, would you have preferred an AC Basher sort of build and just like kind of all in focus the Terror Blade and limit its damage?
I mean, I feel like your best bet is some sort of crazy aggressive damage build and you just run around and are slaying kids. Like, I don't know, Silver Edge is kind of not an item anymore. It's good versus Axe. Maybe it lets you set up on Ember, but like, I do feel like at some point you kind of want Swift Blink, Abyssal, Mjolnir style. Like,
I was going to say, they're matched up.
Slay them.
Yeah, they're matched up against a Terror Blade, and they don't have a Maelstrom on their lineup, despite having both Pango and, maybe Alchemist can build it, but I feel like maybe the Pango could have built a Maelstrom,
It's a lot of gold for, like, some extra damage, but honestly not amazing, because you're going to be piping and glimmering him. Like, on Pango, you maybe proc it once or twice a fight, but how much does that influence the engagement? I don't think you buy Maelstrom Pango here. If you're getting in one, it's on this Alc with the late game Mjolnir build. Just try and like chain kill him with the procs off the attack speed, but you just don't see that build too much anymore. I just don't like AC Radiance here because you're getting reflected, and then I don't feel like it's that great versus the Terror Blade. Like AC versus Terror Blade is a mixed bag. It's good for your team, but it's kind of bad for aggressively killing them, which I feel like is their biggest problem.
Sure. I mean, you're not going to out DPS a Terror Blade over time, probably, so.
Either way, AG in control of this game. Shield rune on Yahweh.
Oh, just a blind blink in does actually result in a kill. Thanks to Yokum, because he gets a really nice blinding light pushback. They do jump in, trying to catch Yahweh, but he gets off the BKB, and he found both Bombi as well as JG, and once again kills the Grimstroke first. Very nice. Now the axe initiation, a second call coming in on a Young God who has to reset back to the fountain. Rapido blinking through. JG almost dying to the Ember Spirit, but he does manage to get back to the fountain just in time. Yahweh dove in deep for that kill, and it would have been massive, but the Void Spirit stays alive, and a chance perhaps for Xerxia to be able to hold on to the barracks, or maybe not. No Chemical Rage.
No supports, no Grimult, no Dark Portrait. There's just no way to contest Terror Blade right now, and Yahweh is not letting the Xerxia supports play this game. He's just on top of them every time. BKB, there's no control for it. He's just gone. There also aren't really the defensive items. Like, you have a single Pavis on Dazzle. The rest of the net worth for both these supports is purely aggressive.
Yeah.
So Yahweh just has free reign. He is cleaning them up. Need some Glimmer Cape or Greaves or something. Keep these supports alive through the BKB duration. Then maybe you can turn on this Ember Spear with the control.
Well, they're going to smoke forwards and see if they can find somebody on Army Geniuses, as they do split apart a bit.
Your single target focus is still pretty good if you can find an isolated target. I just don't know if AG are going to give you an isolated target anymore in this game. There's not really a reason to. Just follow the Terrorblade and play for Roshan into another lane.
Roshan, spawn time in 2 minutes. Xersha are going to use the portal to get to the other side. They're actually behind the supports who are trying to trail their Terrorblade here.
If they saw it
If
come
they
through,
could
that
get
was
over
an
the high
off.
ground, it'd be fine, but
This is so risky.
yeah, this is going to be... They know he's still around here. JG, he's going to go for the TP out. Oh god, if they spot him, the Frostbite is going to catch him, and now his BKB looks a little silly as he gets caught in the call.
That crit. Destroyed. That was Gem. Just a weird play, trying to like half contest this Roche, control the vision, end up paying a big price. They'll finish up the Ags for Pango, but this doesn't feel like it's doing too much, to be honest.
No. I mean, I feel like whenever you get to this point on Pango, unless it's super early, you're still waiting on one more item, right? You're still kind of waiting on that Basher. That way all those extra swashbuckles have a bigger effect.
Yeah, the Basher would be really nice in this game. That's going to help protect your supports and deal with the BKB durations, which have been a problem.
Sure.
But I don't know if you're going to have time to get there at this rate.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Ags for Yahweh, oh, he's so big. He has Chakra behind him too. This is a disgusting amount of backline burst damage.
Yeah.
And he doesn't need anybody else to go with him. That's the scary part. He can just go solo and just makes the team fight so chaotic. Again, all of your support items are aggressive here for Xerxia. Like, you have an Aether Lens on this Dazzle. This is a very aggressive itemization.
Bonebeat completes an Octarine, so still no defensive item for this support, which means he's still gonna die if Ember Spirit gets an idea of where he's at in these fights.
This just feels a little too greedy. I mean, I get trying to maximize your damage